Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another hacking tutorial. My name's Chris, according to at least 3 international law enforcement agencies. And today we're going to be trying to root the basic pen test lab on TryHackMe. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. Alright, and here we are, basic pen test lab. Let's copy our IP address because I will always forget it, and let's take a look at what we're looking into. We do some brute forcing, hash cracking, service enumeration, Linux enumeration. Okay, I already got a couple ideas now of what we're going to be doing here. As always, let's start off with some nmap. Let's run the script option, USB option, and that should be good enough. While we're waiting on that, I'm just going to go on a limb here and check if there's a server. Check if port 80. Yep, looks like they got HTTP. Yeah. Undergoing maintenance. All right, let's check robots.txt file. All right, we don't got anything on robots. For those that don't know, robots.txt is a list of directories that will tell web crawlers such as Google not to index. So it's always a good spot to look for little grains, little nuggets of information. All right, let's see what else we got. This is view page source. It's always a good idea. HTML, nothing crazy here, just this comment. Check out our dev notes section if you need to know what to work on. /dev, let's see what we can find there. Nothing. All right, cool. So nothing on dev. We'll come back to it. Let's see what pops up. All right, nmap is done. Port 22 SSH. So we may be able to tunnel that way into the system. Port 80, HTTP, we already saw that. We got NetBIOS. We got SMB. And then the alternate 8080. Good thing to try is always just throwing 8080 in here, see if there's any difference between the two. Oh, no, it just takes us to the Apache. So we know they're running Tomcat then. All right, we'll go back to that. We'll keep that in the back of our minds. But for now, let's try some other stuff. Let's try some GoBuster. Kind of enumerate the directories so we can find. All right, perfect. All right, so right off the bat, we got development. So it wasn't dev, it was development. Let's throw that in. As always, let's inspect, see if there's anything crazy. Tables. Doesn't look like anything crazy in the tables. Apache. Let's check this out. All right. I've been messing with that strut stuff, and it's pretty cool. I think it might be neat to host that on this server too. Haven't made any real web apps yet, but I have tried that example you get to show off how it works, and it's the REST version of the example. Oh, and right now I'm using version 2.5.12. That may be something of value. We should look into that later because other versions were giving me trouble. SMB has been configured, and I've got Apache set up. We'll put in our content later. So it looks like it's a conversation between K and J. Probably 2 users we may be able to look into later. Okay, anything crazy in here? In the header? Nah, it just looks like just regular text. Okay, let's check j.txt. For J, I've been auditing the contents of your etc shadow file. Okay, so that's where the hashes are. To make sure we don't have any weak credentials, and I was able to crack your hash really easily. You know our password policy, so please follow it. Change that ASAP. Okay, so whoever J is possibly still has a weak password that is crackable. So that's good to know. All right, let's see. I don't know if anything else is going to come of that, but we'll leave it running just in case. They did say something about enumeration. Yeah, Linux enumeration and service enumeration. So let's look into that. There is a cool tool called enum for Linux. Enumeration for Linux, pack A for all, and then let's throw in the IP. We let that run for a bit. So this tool's pretty cool. It basically enumerates everything it can from whatever server you're looking at. So in this case, it's going to look for the known usernames, obviously, and then it's going to look for all sorts of stuff. Password policies, usernames, any passwords that may be laying around, just anything that may be of interest to us. So I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and I'll bring you guys back once we find something interesting. All right, looks like it's finally done. Let's see what we came up with. So some password policies, that's always interesting. Minimum password length 5. So if you're doing a brute force attack, now you know you can kind of limit anything below 5. Oh God, if you have anything below 5, you're in trouble. Let's see. Oh, there it is. This is what we wanted. So we got the name of the 2 local users. So we got Jan and K. So from what we saw earlier, from the dev.txt or j.txt, whatever it was, Jan is the one with the weak password. So that is who we need to target. Perfect. All right, let's clear this out. Now that we have a username, we can target this. We know SSH is open on port 22, so let's target that with some Hydra. Try to brute force it. So Hydra, lowercase l, because we know the name that we're targeting the username, so Jan. We'll do capital P, and let's just throw RockU in it. User share wordless RockU. It's going to be SSH / let's throw in this, and that should be it. Yep. All right, let's send that, let it do its thing, and once again, I'll bring you back when this is done, because this is going to take a while. All right, it looks like it finally cracked, and we got our login of Jan and a password of Armando. Okay. All right, well, let's log in. SSH is open, we know that much. Let's do SSH Jan at... let's send it. Fingerprint, yes. Let me minimize that a little bit so you guys can see. There we go. And password Armando. And boom, we're in. There's our domain, basic2. Okay, perfect. Let's clear this all out. All right, let's see what we got. Nothing in there. Any hidden files? Yeah, there's less, nothing important really. All right, let's see what kind of privileges we have. Let's do sudo tacl. Password for Jan Armando. Yes, we have no sudo. Got it. All right. Well, let's see who else we have in here. I think a good way to do this would be, let's bring over Linpeas. Linpeas is a great tool to kind of do a lot of this stuff for us, a lot of this enumeration. And seeing as how that's a lot of what this is, Linux enumeration, let's show off a little Linpeas action. Let's see. Let's bring it over if I can remember where I have Linpeas. Where is it? User bin Linpeas? I think it's, yeah, right here. This is the one we want right here. Copy that. Whoops. Just copy that directory really quick. Let's SCP that over. So we're going to secure copy Linpeas, and let's send it to Jan at, and I got to go back here because I lost that in my clipboard. Let's send it over to the, I believe, the dev shared memory folder should be good. That's usually good to throw it into. Let's see if that works. Armando. And boom. All right, we should be good now. Let's go back over to here. So let's cd into the dev memory folder, ls. Boom, there's Linpeas. Let's run it in here. All right, it's running already. All right, so Linpeas is really cool. It's that and has really awesome art, but it's really cool in that it will actually color code anything important. So anything with like red, yellow, that's the kind of stuff you should really keep an eye out for. We're gonna let it do its thing. We're gonna see if there's anything of interest, any way to do any privilege escalation. That's something else that it'll look for. Some CVEs that we can look into later on if we get stuck. I like to keep it as basic as possible. And I am a firm believer that the user is the weakest link in the network system. So if we can just figure out where a user messed up more than where there's, some sort of vulnerability, that's the easiest way to go in. Like with a weak password like Armando, for example. All right, doesn't look like Jan has any keys we can use. Sudo tacl, we did that. All right, here we go, super users. And here's K, here's the other one. Okay, so K seems, okay, Jan doesn't have a whole lot of stuff, but K is part of the admin group, it seems. And K has sudo. So K may be who we need to target if we wanna root this. Nobody else. That's all they have in here. Yeah, just Jan and K. Oh, there it is. There it is. Looking for SSH files. Yep. It's under K. So K has an SSH file. Anyone can read it, which is not good. But only K has write access. But look where it is. Boom. And it's readable to everybody, obviously. You can see here. That's big. Okay. So we should take this. The private key is what we want exactly. Yep. Let's just copy that. There's a public key, authorized keys. Yep, private keys. Perfect. All right, I think we're good. I think that's all we need from here. Let's clear that out. Let's go back to our user here. Let's nano, let's call it K underscore key. Boom. All right, and I do know from having worked with keys before, they usually require a space right here. Now you can use a private key instead of having a password to tunnel into SSH. You just got to put the TAC I numerator, I guess, the TAC I option. All right, so we're going to do K at back again. Copy that. Oh, let me not forget to actually include the private key because that would be awkward if I don't. K underscore key. Enter. Warning, unprotected key file. Oh, that's right. That's one thing with private key. And she has a password. Okay, great. Password? Yeah, it was worth a shot. Anyways, all right. So she has it's password protected, which you can do when you're setting up the private keys, which is a smart thing to do. And it's not password, so touche. So this warning comes up because if we look at the let me just do ls-l geez, right here. So you don't want any read write or execute options within the you don't want any of that outside of the owner. Like this the with SSH, you don't want essentially what we did where we're able to read the private key. So SSH gets finicky whenever it sees something like that. So let's change mod. We'll do 600, which basically says read and write for the owner and then nothing else for everybody else. That makes the SSH gods happy. And we'll do K key. That solves one issue. Second issue we have is the password. We don't know what her password is to log in. What we do have, though, is we have the private key. And within the private key, there's an encrypted portion that is the passphrase for the private key. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our good old friend John, and he's going to crack this for us. John actually has an awesome function. I believe I have it in here. Yeah, I have John run, then SSH to John, and then we're going to pass a underscore key, and then we're going to put that into a text. We'll just call it for John. TXT. So what it's going to do is going to take that SSH key and it's going to turn it into a hash that John is going to be able to crack. It's pretty fast. Let's see what it looks like. Boom, and that's the hash. There it is. All right, cool. So clear that, and now we can run John, and we say for John, and we got to give it a word list. Guess we'll just give it. I guess we'll give it the rock you again. Share word list rockyou.txt. Oh, and we got it back already. That was incredibly fast. So beeswax. Okay, so that should work. So now let's take that. Let's SSH. We're gonna put K at. Still got that in my clipboard. Yep. Well, we got to give it the file first. Back I, and it's gonna be K key. Yeah. enter that, and then now we enter the passphrase, which is beeswax. We enter that, and boom, we're logged in as K. Perfect. Perfect. What kind of commands do we have as K? Password. Probably not beeswax. That's the password for her SSH login. Correct. It's not. Okay. Let's see what we have. Well, while we're in here, oh, she's got a pass back file. Sudo add is admin successful. Okay, so she has a backup file of her password, which I'm pretty sure is all we're missing, right? Oh, I forgot to cat it. Whoops. It's important to input the correct command, and there it is. Here's a really strong password that follows the password policy. Nice. So now if we sudo tac L and we put her sudo password in, boom, that's it. User may run the following commands all. She has full sudo commands, full admin. And that is it, guys. That is how we were able to bypass some poor security policies, some really weak passwords, and got into the admin file. For further note, one, make sure your passwords are properly secure. Don't have weak passwords like Armando that end up on a text file. And two, don't make your SSH keys readable to anybody but yourself. Easy, basic pen testing box. But I do hope you guys learned something about enumeration and just how to look for simple exploits. Always remember to double check those web pages too. Look up the source code, see what you can manipulate, see what somebody left there. Do some fuzzing, see what other domains you can find. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you want to see next. We're going to continue doing more TryHackMes. We're going to branch off to a little Portswigger Academy, maybe some live testing, and more tutorials. Just let me know what you guys want to see next. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, I appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, just so I can know that I'm on the right path. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.